stop streaming on Discord?
Probably if you're gonna stream on Twitch.
Yeah, whatever. Here we go. It's Gundam, by the way. I'm locking in.
All right, you're locking in Yoko. Got it.
Gundam Tanaka.
Yahoo! Hey, now I'm really now then.
Do you remember the controls?
Fucking damn it, dude. Damn it. Fuck this game.
What?
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Hold on. Love life.
Oh, you might need to listen to this.
Snit.
What?
I have to grind Love Life for an hour. No.
Oh my god.
Wait. The reset happens at 11 a.m. So I think I'm good.
What?
Anyway,
During the class trial, you, if you vote, I'm sure you who, huh? I'm here today. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'm definitely not tempted by Curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey,
this game.
why don't we try going over the incident?
What?
We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
Yeah?
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m.
Before 7 a.m.
I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia
Shut
and Chiaki that
up.
early in the morning? Don't tell me you three were together since
What do you
last
mean?
night.
This fog.
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House. We went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
You're the cruelest one here!
Now. Enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
Ah, damn it. This kid sucks.
What do you mean?
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him. Damn it!
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the killer used and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
Surprise beating.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
Your time's getting a little low, by the way.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is
Oh,
possible.
the hammer looks new.
That's right. The weapon is decided.
Oops.
What are you doing?
I guess we should figure
I
out
don't
The
know,
weapon was right there at the
dude.
scene of the crime.
I feel like you're caught in a time loop or something.
No, the hammer.
You're just
Never
shooting
used
the
that
white
and
noise
beat
and
the crap out of
doing
him.
nothing.
No, that's wrong.
Easy. Easy, easy,
Oh my
easy.
What was that?
No, I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body, just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangsta? Me?
Just so y'all know, I was trying to test you guys.
Don't make me call for warm mom.
I thought maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at
Yes,
the crime
sir.
scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
I see! The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon. Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar.
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body. With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid. He ain't the type to commit suicide.
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Huh? For reals?
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go! There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl. I'm getting hella excited.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Oh, it was under him.
Even
which
I
means-
could probably tip it over.
Okay, got it.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, I'm getting
You sure you don't want to shoot white
excited.
noise for 3 minutes?
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was beating him with it is
What about tipping the pillar over?
No, that's wrong!
No, it's wrong. break!
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been
Objection!
fragments on top of his body.
Huh?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
Yeah, tell him, Artemis.
Briefly considered that too. But it's probably not what happened.
Probably he landed on the pillar. Wait a minute. Maybe they tied him to the doorknob. No, that's a stretch. Come on. Tie him. Use the wire to tie him to the doorknob on the second floor. Then move the tower to the bottom. And then let him fall. And it's possible he wakes up at like 7:30. If we found his body before 7:30 a.m. But he died at 7:30, which means he must have died at 7:30 p.m. But then he's tied to the doorknob on the second floor. The floor is at the bottom. He wakes up at 7:30. He panics, slips off the doorknob, and then lands on the pillar, and that's how he died. Okay, I get it. But again, Monokuma said, but this had to be 12 hours, because I know how he died, but what time? There must have been a 12-hour time difference. And if that's the case, then why did they plan a decoy noise at 5:30? I suppose the exact time doesn't matter, but they're trying to say so someone hit his button, put him to sleep, they tied him up, they tied his arms up, and then they tied his leg to the doorknob, then they switched the tower, and they let him fall, and he landed on the pillar and died. But this happened at 7:30 p.m.? Did it have to happen at 7:30 p.m.? The truth is it happened at 7:30 p.m., but why? Why did it have to happen at 7:30 p.m.? And then they tried to create a decoy at 5:30. How did they create the decoy? If the sound wasn't the pillar, I don't know what the sound could have been. There's nothing here. There's no evidence that could have produced a sound at 5:30. Answered one question, and there's still a million more unanswered.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we? There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
I noticed it. I noticed
Then I
it.
shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, same as usual. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
What did you say?
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito, what the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Gravity.
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon. I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
And look at Sonya trying to bring the hamsters into the picture. It's foreshadowing.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse. Strawberry House leads to
Shitty
Strawberry
diagram.
Tower, and Grape House leads to
Not
Grape
even
Tower.
close.
But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion. In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
In truth, Strawberry Town are actually the exact same place.
No, that's wrong! Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry...
It's if it is, then see? That means it could have...
If so, then what? Does that mean he's... Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then...
Bow down! Then how about this?
While we were moving from Grape... But we should have all been together during that time.
Then Monokuma, while we were moving...
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved.
If it is too heavy to... Just like if there is no breath... There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar and Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything. He could have moved it all, easy as pie. Damn it! There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing. There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing. There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the futuristic rope, the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene? Damn it! There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled, and Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything could have moved it all, easy as pie. Damn it! There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a that might be hard even for
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, Wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear, the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene?
Allow me to cut through those words! Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Huh?
When the position of Nekomaru's body and the physically moving all of the oil like that is simply...
Then it's
I am terribly...
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two...
Not when the experiment involving the...
Yeah, the e-handbook was still...
If they're not the same building, or...
I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it...
Oh shit. Wait.
But how do we know your hint is it?
Is Fuyuhiko Pico a traitor? Am I supposed to assume his testimony is wrong? The clocks were tampered with and he's lying to me? If the clocks were tampered with, that would make me happy. Oh, fucking whatever.
I have a good The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate... I see!
You're talking about the final... You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a... And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Yep. See? This is it. Let me explain it to you again.
What did I
I
say?
took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final
I'm a
dead room.
genius.
But don't you think it's weird? If the
Easy.
funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right? Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
Here! If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle, which means if you're viewing the tower from... But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
I see. And is that it?
What else doesn't make sense? I don't know. What? trees?
Here! You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
That's right. Good call. In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not. Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me, if you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student. Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already.
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma archive should be the only room on the...
What does it...
Man. Whoops. Whoops. Lift, jump, scoot up.
Skateboarding, pog. Snowboarding.
Ow! Both exist. They exist. They're the same. They don't not exist.
Well, technically, it's a video game. So
This many games.
It's all coming together. Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There is only one possibility. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different three-story buildings. They're actually one six-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located. I see! On top of Grape. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the fourth floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is four-sided, and Grape House is six-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it?
Oh, look at my 3D drawing.
Disregarding the tower, we fully believe the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd! Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Hello.
Hey,
Okay,
did you beat the game yet?
What? Alright, so there's a lot of things I don't understand about this case, but when I think about it, the only, like, they must have put Nekomaru to sleep, and there's only one possibility for doing that, and that is Gundam's hamsters. So that, based on that alone, I think that's enough to solve the case. Just Gundam's hamsters is the only possibility for putting him to sleep.
Interesting.
So, anyway.
Then it's true? The building.
That's right! Those two.
Constructing a building like that on your.
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House.
That's exactly
Strawberry
what I
Tower was also on top of
drew!
Grape Tower.
Fucking
However,
yo!
if they're different
What's
floors
the
within
definition of
same
exactly?
building, why was Nekomaru's body in both
I think you had it
places?
pointing the other way. Thank you very much.
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple.
There they go again, trying to bring his hamsters into the picture.
Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
Oh, definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was a fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was a fake?
Shut up! Just pick one of them. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my...
So which one was a fake?
Shut up! Just pick one of them. I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body.
Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery. And hurry up! One of the bodies was actually a dummy!
No, that's wrong! Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said... Right up until that moment, you were The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they...
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking, right?
It's all right. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
You can't think of a device like that?
Elevator? Motherfucker.
Man, what could it be? It's escalator.
How do I get rid of this thing?
I got it! You must be talking about an elevator.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself. The inside of the tower is one big elevator,
Everybody knows that.
which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry and a
It's
picture?
literally just a decoy.
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right? But when we entered Strawberry Tower,
Not just that, but if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken off.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
I see! Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
And why did the picture on the far back door change? The reason is because
Damn it! I see! So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was. That's why we saw different doors in each tower. Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show. Just for show? Why was something like that necessary? So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified. It was actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality. Did you hear that, mon ami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right? The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse. The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other? If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right. And inside Strawberry House, which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontal.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevators, the towers are in opposite directions.
If the two houses are
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontal,
However, if the contact the towers are in.
which means you're
It's clearly
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
if the two houses are
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
No, that's wrong. The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Huh?
Come on. You used
Ah, that. From start to finish.
Rotate, meaning it also. It
Oh,
was probably following the building.
exactly like my drawing.
I don't know. I didn't see you draw an animation of it doing that.
Other house, right?
I can't believe they
And thanks
plagiarized
to
my
that,
drawing.
the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
an elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, that's not. You say I'm. So what's the ultimate weapon
whoa,
that
wait.
killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my. I
No,
can't believe I have to explain that.
That's me.
now.
That's how I feel.
As long as you know what an octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily. I see!
If I recall,
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable. I guess I should continue listening. Crap!
What do you want me to point at? It's the whole thing.
Crap!
Oh, well, what happened to your diagram, huh?
Crap!
You want me to point here?
Crap! Crap!
Oh my! What else is there to point at? This is bullshit.
Crap!
It's. Oh my god.
Crap! Crap!
This is so fucking. What?
We will never give up.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Here.
What? You want me to point at that specific spot?
You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the.
Why is that?
You know how the four-sided... If you cut a four-sided shape out of a six-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality,
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
that's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the funhouse, which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like me, the killer, and then thought of a way.
The funhouse itself is the weapon.
That's why the killer tried to keep us from, but more importantly, using the... It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
Gundam, 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 Gundam. So they're trying to say the octagon is only 1 floor tall?
Hiya!
Like, I guess, but... it doesn't change anything. Alright.
Oh well.
Is it really?
I mean, that's not the killer who used the...
But is it really okay to...
There's no way I'd lie at such...
What happened to the bastard?
He's right. There was a time I will sincerely retract that remark.
Reach.
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine.
I see.
Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting...
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Anyway, if the killer used...
How they...
It might be better if...
I see! That's it?
Died from...
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both... Then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
I do.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method.
Why, you
Where
starting
in
to
that
sweat,
building
Gundam?
would you even be able to
Starting to
push
sweat?
someone off in the first place?
Good question with no
It
answer.
might be possible in the tower.
If you're a traitor,
You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions?
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
nah.
But my gut is When the elevator is on the 1st floor,
You can't go through the door?
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Damn it!
When the elevator is up, you can't go through the door?
It'd be impossible.
Then, after locking Nekomaru, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on! Did you forget the elevator had... As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open. Which means the elevator wouldn't...
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on, you can't go through the door.
It'd be impossible.
Then, after locking they move the and made use of the...
Hold on. As long as there's a moving object inside.
No, that's wrong! That sensor should only work if Nekomaru wasn't moving inside. The elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have...
I see.
His lab.
So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
That's what I was about to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
Crap!
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator. If you arrange it you can cause the drop.
So you're telling to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement.
The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't be so... What if I start to enjoy it?
Oh no.
If you arrange it you can cause the drop.
So you're telling to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement.
The hammer is suspicious. Isn't it about time?
What about the oil on the
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
I agree with that. Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
That's right! He was so...
You better not...
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy. So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that. Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Tashikani.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell off? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Allow me to cut through those words.
Rick!
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated, which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
Then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy, he gets off on this.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
I see.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor,
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Oh, oops.
Damn it!
We headed for Grape before 7 a.m.
But the alarm inside was set for 7. Nekomaru died.
His time of death and one of those must...
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest... was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tamper. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
That's gotta be it!
We headed for Great before 7 a.m.
But the alarm inside was set for 7.
Nekomaru died.
His time of death and one of those must...
The killer probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No, that's wrong! No, the clock in...
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No. I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare
Unless you're
that
the
all the clocks had the
traitor.
same time displayed.
If there's no
They have the same
possibility
time
that the
displayed, but that
time was
doesn't mean they
tampered
were
with,
changed.
then we must doubt
Is
that
that what they're
humans tested.
Had the same time. That's different from. That's not what you said earlier, fucker.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
He was killed at. He must have been killed at 7:30 p.m. Really?
It's all coming together. You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Fuyuhiko said the clocks were not tampered with. He should have said the clocks show the same time.
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time
Obviously,
inside
this is
the
the most
whole building by changing all the clocks.
Why wouldn't the killer do that? That should be the
So
natural
that's what it
assumption.
was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
Yes, there.
This is true.
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time?
It must have been 2 hours, obviously.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Crap! If the time in the building was all messed, then we can only rely.
The time of death was clearly 7.
The problem is, in our time.
Are there any clues that can be? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were...
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane.
I see! Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7. That means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru. If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Oh, I get it.
I see!
That's pretty smart.
That's it.
How did...
We were required to go to... But if they mess with all the clocks inside the...
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Okay. There was enough information to figure that out before the trial. I should have figured that out.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
Wow, but you have the diagram and everything.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
Damn it, I could have... yeah, I should have figured that out. It's too sets of evidence where the hours are two hours off. You should be able to connect the dots if you're smart.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he...
Too early!
Oh, yeah, because he told me everyone ditched, so he fucking lied, so I couldn't.
When you said
figure that out.
everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez! That's... well, how's... what was it?
Are you talking?
That's not...
So
Let's
Monokuma
just
lied
ignore
pretty
the
much,
peanut
so
gallery.
it's not my fault that I did.
Now that we found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
If he said everyone skipped Monokuma Tai Chi, everyone ditched Monokuma Tai Chi. That's not true if Nekomaru went there.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects?
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward...
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell? Who is it?
Who's the bastard?
What? Hold on, slow down.
Who doesn't have an alibi when the alarm went off?
Who doesn't have an alibi when the alarm went off? Define alibi. What?
Who wasn't there when the alarm went off?
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been there.
It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
It's almost too obvious.
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the
Gundam
alarm,
sweating.
I never even heard that rumbling sound.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too. I was in a pretty
what a
deep sleep,
coincidence.
so I thought that's why I couldn't hear
What
it.
do these people
But
have in
if
common?
it wasn't that, I probably couldn't hear it at all.
They must have, like, you know, an ear infection or something. That must be it.
Couldn't hear it? What does that
Alright, T.
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yes. Bedroom. Deluxe room. Oops. No. Oh. No! 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 Everything sucks. Oh Jesus. There we go. Ah,
I got it!
got it! I like him at the end.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The reason we could...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
I'm the ultimate backup.
Now then,
I
you guys must understand by now, right?
don't think that's
True
good ultimate.
identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Yes.
Hold on a
Yes.
sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Well, that
Yes.
fact just now is a
Yes.
very important clue and a
Yes.
decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Chiropractor? Gotcha!
You're the only one! Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There's only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct?
Me?
Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that
Ormon.
long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room. Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
Hug you! You're the hero!
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
10.
The answer is 10. That's right,
Yay!
I possess 10 ears. That
Wow.
means I have 5
What a
times
tough
the hearing
question.
of a normal human. The
did
soundproof
it!
system here may as well not exist.
Is that what college taught you?
I learned that from the greatest teacher, Blue's Clues.
Is that your
5
argument?
times 2.
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now
He's
commence.
breaking. Wow.
At the time,
He
I
has
left my
zero
room to
poker
go to the
face.
bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Not a
Are you
bad
saying
alibi.
it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
It's possible.
Yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out.
Not a bad excuse.
Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something At some point during the investigation, what actually happened?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
You said...
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since
Bring
the
it on,
beginning?
Gundam.
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Well, Naruto already knows.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that your assumption
Plus, the elevator broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot
Since I was at there's no question that the
It would have been different.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
Oh,
Damn it!
that elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as
well, this doesn't make any sense. It should be Nagato's.
your assumption
Seven
collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
Accomplice. No, there was no accomplice. Secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator, the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we
Oh,
stop this already?
oh, son of a.
That elevator, the only means of travel, as long as that your assumption.
Plus, the elevator broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot...
Since I was at there's no question that
It would have been different.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator, the only means of travel between the two.
No, that's wrong.
Stupid.
No, there should have been another way to move
Such a method?
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method? You're the only one!
You're the only one!
Nagito, you should know. Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right? There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame! However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your
Resistance to the
life,
hammer.
you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Bring it on!
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
Hi! What? No! No, I can't, I'm not leveling.
Wow, dude. You're gonna suck at Mario Party, huh?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use, however, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
Oh my god.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning.
It should be the hammer. Possibly the wire.
You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cunt!
What is he gonna do with wire?
If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion,
Allow me to cut through those words.
The wire used to string up the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
Why would you put wire when you could have put hammer?
The only place I can think of is the octagon.
Why would you put wire when you look
There
at
were
all these
various
things?
weapons and tools there.
Why would
You haven't used wire
Pretty
yet.
sure I saw stuff like
Who
wires,
cares?
hammers, and chains.
What do you mean?
Not my job to
Going to an Ace Attorney trial and never use one piece of evidence? No. Use everything.
Well, they don't. You can reuse a piece of evidence. You can use the hammer more than once.
Sure. You gotta use everything at least once. Dude, the wire needs some exposure.
Exposure. Ugh.
Like people like you that just say hammers are better than wires. Like, what's the wire supposed to do, dude? It's already fucking a leg down.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building,
Nice.
Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully
please?
lured
Sorry,
Nekomaru to
please.
Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
hold on! What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you...
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button.
It's your hamsters.
However,
Don't
that button
you
was
can't
on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
can't pull
To
fast
press
on
it,
me.
I have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
Panic talk action.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind it?
This is the end!
Gotcha.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
You press the elevator button. This was a joke. He should not have done this in front of us. What a throw. He should have done that in private.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
What's going on? What? How are these? What am I looking at? Clock.
Hovering over the question marks gives you hints, yeah.
All of these are... Oh, mother...
here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Gundam, why? Gundam!
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Bingo! Big pot. B.
Yeah, I see 51 to 43. Oof.
That's almost like I spent 3 minutes on the first question.
This result isn't all
I guess
that
shooting
exciting.
white noise doesn't give you an A.
Now then, please pull the lever in front of... Who will be... Please? Crap! I bet...
No, I liked him. Gundam!
Yahoo! Yaha! Nice!
Now then. Jeez.
Fall, my tears. Listen well! How pitiful. Fine.
Damn it!
This, too, must be the will of causality.
You.
Let's make history.
That looks badass.
That is...
Let me tell you this.
Huh?
I can see it!
Could it be?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great one.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got!
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Let me tell you. You weakling! Fall, my tears. If you flinch, you will die!
Let me ask. Fine.
Listen well! I shall engulf this world. I renounce you!
You.
But...
Damn it.
Fine.
Fall.
Oh. You...
Let's make history.
I only did it once, but that was no child's play.
Well...
No, Gundam's cool.
My name is Gundam Tanaka. Fade like dust in the wind.
God damn, he's cool.
Yes, indeed.
Please wait! I beg of you!
Huh?
I beg of you!
How pitiful. Fine. What is it, my Ford? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end!
Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we...
Let Sonia take care of the hamsters. The hamsters don't need to die. Oh no! Damn. That was kind of beautiful.
Damn it. Damn it! The worst.
Oh. You are right. You are right.
Oh, she's crying. Oh. Sonia!
Hey! Wait! Now then.
Hey, hey!
It's not like that.
Huh.
Hey, hey.
She cried too.
Right?
Hungry man in a turn jaguar. Nagito?
Well... Damn it. It's obvious.
Monokuma
Now then.
What's this? What's the matter?
Wow.
Hello.
Hey.
Say what?
You don't even know? Isn't that right?
Of course.
But...
Who knows?
Hey. Well, right?
You're getting all riled up. No, no. Shing! Huh?
Hey.
Yep.
Okay, so the traitor is on Monokuma's side? Or are they separate?
Right?
No, no, no. Unbelievable.
Well, you're right. Huh?
Like...
Wow.
Say...
You don't know? Hey. See? Hey.
That's...
Well, anyway. Beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep. Seven remaining.
Danganronpa.
Nice, I got a present.
Jeez.
Stupid fool!
Good job cheering her up,
Oh
Hajime.
my!
Hey!
Huh? What's up?
I'll beat you up!
I am concerned.
Jeez.
Huh?
All right.
My.
I'm no doll. I'm Mini Maru.
Are you serious? Thanks.
Well...
I'll beat you up!
Whoa! Man.
Oh.
Engines revving.
Huh.
I...
Miss Sonia?
Oh my!
Are you kidding me?
Jeez.
I am Mini Maru.
Man. That's right.
You serious?
Of course.
Hey, hey.
Well,
Hey, hey.
But still,
now then. Hey, bastard.
Huh?
right? Of course! Listen!
Hey!
Oh my! Yikes!
I am sorry!
Huh? Huh? You?
What? Hey, hey. Ding, 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 ding!
Don't misunderstand.
So... I'll show you my serious side.
Hey, hey.
What are you saying?
Hey, hey, hey.
What?
Settle down. All right.
Damn right.
All right.
I'm starting to get pumped up.
That's... Leave it to me.
Chapter 5. Smart hope in the name of despair.
So this is the last island.
Yeah, that's a good place to stop. Yay! Yay, I did it! Woohoo!
We're now even on the bets. Of course, Chapter 5 is the quadruple or nothing.
What?
What?